What's up, guys? This is Gamer Grayson here to talk a little bit about Metal Gear 5, The Phantom Pain. Um, right now I'm doing one of the main story missions, so it's at your own decision if you want to continue watching this video or not. But I'm gonna play it anyways, just so you have something to look at while you're watching this. But I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on this game, what I think about it. What I'm going to do is, since like all the major publications, reviewers are giving this game like 10 out of 10s, 9 out of 10s, like at the least practically. I'm just going to go ahead and it's obvious that this is a very well made game. Like it's pretty much a masterpiece. So what I'm going to do instead, I can obviously tell you that if you're a fan of action stealth games, Metal Gear, obviously, this is pretty much a must-buy, like, of course, don't even hesitate. But what I'm going to do instead of that is, instead of talking about the good, which there's plenty of in this game, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the negatives, because people really aren't talking about the negatives very much in this game, and, that's just bothering me a little bit. So because this game definitely has some flaws. So one of the flaws of this game is definitely that repetition of the side ops missions is very clear. Pretty much you'll be going around doing like the same mission over and over and over just to get money, and it just kind of adds like a repetitive nature to the game. It's up to you completely if you want to do the side ops missions or not. So that's a good thing. You don't even have to do them if you don't want to, but you're pretty much gonna need to if you want to get the gear that you want and all that. So it's kind of a problem that the game makes such repetitive missions. Although that is a very big nitpick in the game, because the gameplay is just so much fun that's just a completely minor nitpick. Like, even though the missions are very repetitive in the side ops, at least, it's still fun because the gameplay is just so damn sharp. You'll be visiting the same places over and over, and that can get tedious sometimes. So overall, I would say that that's a bit of a flaw. It's not a huge flaw or anything like that, but I still would say that that's a little bit of a flaw. Let's see. What else? Other than that, another flaw of the game that I found is that again, this is kind of a minor nitpick. It has a great game engine, but a lot of the physics just aren't destructible. Like, you can tear down like cables and like certain like guard posts, like wooden guard post towers with like snipers in them. But like a lot of the like trees and stuff like that, like you can't even tear those down with like a rocket launcher, and it just kind of doesn't make sense because Crisis, for example, was released back in 2007, and that game had destructible everything. I just don't see how, at least like the tree limbs at least could be destructible in this game, along with a few other things like shacks and stuff like that. I just don't see why you can't destroy like small enemy shacks and stuff like that. But other than that, it's a very great game engine. Again, that's a very minor nitpick. Let me think. Other negatives to the game. Coming up with negatives for this game really is quite a task, because it's just such a well-made game when you really get down to it. But you will come across problems with it really is just the side ops missions. It's just they get a little bit repetitive, because you go to the same places over and over, especially if you choose to do the same side ops missions over and over again. That's gonna get repetitive real fucking quick. I mean, it doesn't matter, you know, what your mind's. I mean, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, that's definitely gonna get repetitive. Other than that, like, some of the traveling in this game can get a little bit repetitive too, because really there's just not a whole lot to explore besides enemy outposts, and that's just, you know, I mean, it's just enemy outposts. It's just like that's not really like good exploration when it comes to the open world aspect. So, I mean, most of the time you're just going to be calling in your chopper to take you to whatever mission you need to go to. And that just isn't very good. But, I mean, again, these are very fucking minor nitpicks in a game that's overall a masterpiece. It's a staggering achievement when it comes to stealth gameplay and just action gameplay in general. You don't even have to be stealth at all in this game. You can choose whatever the hell you want to do in this game. Like, you can just go in with a fucking rocket launcher and a grenade launcher and just do whatever. And that's part of what makes this game so goddamn good. It's just the non-linearity of the gameplay. It's just incredible. But another real flaw in this game would be the story pacing. You know, you'll go a long time without practically anything happening in the story, and that's kind of a problem because it just doesn't. It's just not very cohesive with how the story cutscenes kind of add up with each other. Like you'll get a cutscene like 5 hours before you'll get another cutscene, and it's just like by that time you like forget what even happened, so you're just like focusing on the gameplay 100%. And I mean, again, that's what they're going for with this game, but it still would be nicer to have like more of a cohesive like story that isn't so broken up between a lot bunches of hours of gameplay, pretty much is what I'm saying. But I mean, other than that, the gameplay it's just phenomenal. I mean, it's really hard to find problems with this game. You really have to hunt to find problems with this game. Yeah, I mean, again, probably the biggest problem is just that you go to the same like enemy outpost over and over, but even doing that, it's just like you don't really care because the missions are just so goddamn fun to do, and it just doesn't really matter because the enemy AI is so diverse that it just makes it a whole different experience every time you invade an outpost. So overall, it's just pretty much just a staggering achievement for the action stealth Metal Gear games. I mean, it's just a very good game, but it definitely does have a few flaws if you hunt for them, or if you're if you have a keen eye for detail, you will find a few problems with this game. But overall, it's still a masterpiece, absolutely worth picking up. Just my thoughts on it. I can't really give it a score as of right now because I haven't beaten it. I'm very close to beating it. Definitely above on a scale of 1 to 10, it's definitely in the 9 range or above the 9 range, without a doubt. So yeah, I just wanted to give my quick thoughts, and thanks guys.